when we done the show on Thursday, the unfiltered show, you have to think, that that's a risk to say the things that we said. That's that is a risk because nobody wants to hear that. You gotta remember, a lot of these guys that wear like kufis and what's them African somethings again? No, my mind's just people. You know me already by now. What's them sittings noble that them man there wear? Them spoken word duns. You know what I'm talking? The African cloth thing, man.
Yeah.
What's it called, Noble?
My mind's gone blank. Also,
my mind's blank, people. But them brothers there, like, them are some of the most ignorant brothers in the community, because they can never ever make an issue about facts. They always present it like, yo, I can't go against my people. And I get that to a degree, but I'm at the point now where like we have to separate from men who refuse to grow.
Yeah.
Like Benny the Butcher says, everybody can't go. Do you know what I mean? So we have to start looking and saying, boy, if you man are on some gang business and shooting and stabbing, we have to separate from you. Like a lot of people will be like, you're not doing youth work. I'm like, you're damn right. I'm not doing youth work. I'm doing truth work. You see what I'm saying? There's a difference. I've done a lifetime of youth work, and what I realized is that there was no change being implemented, Noble, because everyone's scared to speak. I ain't scared to speak, so I don't fit in them crowds. But the facts are, we recorded that episode, and it went against the grain, but the feedback, whether it be public or privately, people are feeling the same way. They are fed up. People are fed up. In Britain right now, a lot of the community are fed up of what's going on, and things are starting to slowly change. So Lil Durk, for those who don't know, is one of the pioneers of the drill rap scene. Lil Durk has had many chances to make it big. His first run, he had a hit, but he didn't really make it to where he wanted to go. His second run, he was getting there, but he didn't get to the top of the totem pole yet. His third run, Noble, he blew up something crazy. He went clear in his third run, and he became Durkio, the Lil Durk that we know today. Now, during the pandemic, there was a rapper you couldn't get away from him. You couldn't get away from seeing him, hearing his music, seeing him on social media. His name was King Von. Now, I'll never forget it. This King Von, he got killed. Now, when he got killed, Noble, I just remember saying to myself, damn, that Chicago scene is dangerous, man. Like, it's you hear about all these deaths, like, all the time. So, the journalist that I am and the social commentator that I am, I decided to actually look into the Chicago drill scene. I said, I want to actually research this. And Noble, when I tell you, I watched videos, I watched documentaries about how they came up, how the drill scene was built. And when I finished watching it, I felt so bad for those guys, like, in terms of, like, it was just it's probably one of the darkest, like, one of the most negative things to happen.
Yeah.
Like, that scene, I just remember, just to give you an example, taking it back further than that, actually, I'm going to get back to that, but taking it back further than that, before my mum became an MP, she's doing big work with the government and all of that, and she went to Chicago. She mentioned it in the interview that we did with her, and when she went to Chicago, she called me, and she was so upset. She was like, yo, like, where black people are here, it's really, really sad. Like, it's really sad. So, when I started looking at this drill scene, but this was guys who were going to school together. They knew each other from young, a lot of them. It was only one road that separated them. And they were killing each other. There's no winner. Literally, both sides were just taking each other out. Like, just like it's nothing. Like, one death, 3 more deaths on the other side. 1 death, 4 more deaths. People just die like it's nothing. Police don't even... They don't even investigate it, Noble. That's how bad it is. That police don't investigate it. Now, there was one picture I seen where it showed all these guys in school, like loads of like black boys in school, and then next to them it had like a picture, either a picture of a dove or a key and a padlock to say that they were locked up for life. And Noble, it was one of the saddest things you will ever see.
It's heartbreaking, sibling.
Real heartbreaking. So fast forward from there, I was about to do the biggest Brum story that I've ever did. This Brum story was focused on the happening Brum. Now, when I tell you that it was a but I needed to interview like 3 different people. Now, the person who committed is doing life in prison. So I was going over the story and I started to build the story. You know how I do it. And one of the guys who was there when the happened, I sat down with him and I got to like talk to him and take notes. And I've mentioned this a few times before on the show, but this is what I'm talking about. That guy witnessed his friend get 33 times. Ooh. Yeah, he's seen that, Noble. And when I was talking to him, it's difficult for me to put it into words, yeah. But when I was talking to him, his soul was gone. That's the only way I can put it. Like he was soulless. I don't know if anyone else has ever experienced this, but it was like I was talking to a dead person. Like he was just living because his body's here. But that night took everything out of him.
Dead from the inside.
Exactly. Now, upon speaking to one of his family members, they said whatever happened that night, he's never ever been the same. They've tried everything, counseling, everything. He's completely turned his life around, but he's just not a functioning human being anymore. So, with that being said, when you look into Lil Durk's story, Noble, he's lost his brother, cousin, friends, associates, and he's experienced a level of success that most rappers won't, and he still sees the need to keep up with that type of stuff. Like this rapper that I was talking to yesterday, yeah, street rapper as well, well known. I said to him, there's certain things, yeah, you can't get the stench off you. There's certain things like that you can't get the stench off you when you push a certain narrative, yeah, and you live a certain way. There's certain things you can't get the stench off you. I'm going to give you an example. There was one of the rival gang members who were killed. He was a young guy, Noble. He was like 15 at the time. He was killed at a bus stop, and Lil Durk went to this bus stop and mocked him. Now, when you mock the dead, yeah, like it puts like it's almost like once you mock the dead, and I said this to all these drill men, once you mock the dead, it's like you've thrown a boomerang. And that boomerang is just spinning and spinning and spinning and waiting to come back to you. Now, this is why I'm very, very strict in the type of people that I allow into my personal space and I allow personal communication with. Because King Von, the rapper, yeah, is responsible for all of this as far as thus far. Because he's been allowed to live his life, and I've watched all the documentaries on him, running around, getting his way, getting away with things, and having a ruthless attitude towards the world. And he got wrapped up with that NBA Youngboy guy. Now, this NBA Youngboy is the same trauma that they come from. Now, just through ego.
Hey, Mark, just
for
clarification, NBA Youngboy, is he he's from Louisiana?
Yes, that's Louisiana. Aisha, yeah, big up Aisha, yeah. The Sheiky, that's what it's called.
No. The Sheiky's the shirt thing you talking about.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. The Sheiky.
Oh, see.
Yeah, because you got different ones.
Yeah.
So, anyway, Durk now, yeah, imagine your friend, this King Von, jumped out of the car and went to attack this Quando Rondo guy. He's attacked him and they've ended up killing King Von. Now, Lil Durk couldn't say to himself, My friend got involved in something that he shouldn't have got involved in. But we're on a bigger mission now. We can save the next couple of generations by allowing this to die. Like, this is what my friend was on. You know, look at what he had gotten away with, allegedly. They said, this is rap's first serial killer, they were saying.
Yeah.
They're saying, this is rap. Look what you got away with, and you still couldn't let it lie to where you sent, man, allegedly, to go and try and kill this Quando Rondo, then you've ended up killing another man. This poison, which is drill, has come to an end because these guys, Noble, literally took road politics and put it into music. And this sickness spread across the world. I'm not happy when anybody goes to jail, but by people seeing now, yo, this comes to an end. Like, this is a man who had chance after chance after chance. The reason I gave that example of the guy who witnessed the is because it only took him to witness one for his soul to go. Lil Durk, he's witnessed murders, he's lost friends, family, he's made it in life and still wants to live that life. So if your soul's not going, what does that mean? If your soul's not going, what does it mean? That you ain't got no soul.
Exactly, sibling. It's plain and simple.
He made a song called Should Have Ducked. Now, there's a guy called FBG Duck who got... Oh. He made a song after called Should Have Ducked, trolling the guy's death. Now, what I'm saying is, at some point in life, there has to be a point where a man says, you know what? Let that situation lie.
Ready?
I don't want to hear nothing about, but these guys grew up in Chirac and rare. Listen, yes, they did grow up in Chirac. That's what they call it. I don't like that name, but that's what they call it. But when does the cycle ever break? A lot of the stuff I see is ignorance. I see guys who promote this lifestyle. That King Von promoted this lifestyle. He pushed. Listen to his songs. He was loving that lifestyle.
We've got a situation where a genre which is created, by inner city youth, not too dissimilar. Let's keep it surface level at the moment. Not too dissimilar to hip hop. This is a genre which birthed via hip hop, right? But there's major differences, man. Crazy major differences in this respect, because you got them talking about smoking on Tuka packs and this and that, making songs, trolling the death of their ops, going to block, popularizing this thing. Now, how did they do this, sibling? Did they get on their independent Master P grind and put this stuff out independently to create a buzz? Oh, no. We had major corporate... Was it Universal Music Group has signed most of these people, right?
Yeah, they've been part of the problem, yeah.
So we've got a corporation benefiting of the proliferation of the poison being spread worldwide, which generally affects people who look just like us. Therefore, continuing the cycle, getting paid off the record sales, of all the other associated bits and pieces. Then we've got the peasant clause on their insurance clause. So when they meet their untimely death, they get paid the insurance policy. So they're winning hand over fist. They're destroying us. They're making money by destroying us. And then when that artist, that beloved artist who comes from that impoverished, degraded. I mean, look what's happened. Look at the history of Chicago, from the mobsters, from Hoover, from the Al Rookins, to all of that there, to where it is now. GDs, BDs, it's these new crazy youngsters who have no conscience. Unfortunately, they have no conscience whatsoever, and they're put into a position. Not even put in a position. Well, the table's been laid for them.
If you look at, like, say, the first man who came through in this drill scene, that was Chief Keef. And you can see that Chief Keef has somewhat matured and moved away from that kind of stuff. But these other guys didn't want to move away from that kind of stuff because when you look at a King Von, well, take it away from King Von. When you look at a Little Durk, he's had chance after chance to change his life around. King Von did, I mean, Little Durk had plenty of opportunities to leave that world. Like this, these men take life like it's nothing. They don't value life. And that poison spread around the world. It spread. Like when I look at some of these young guys, like even in the UK, when some man are talking about, yo, this man, you know, he's meant to have done this, he's meant to have done that. And I'm like, yo, imagine that. Like imagine living your life like that, but it was cool. That Chicago wave was cool. Like they made it where loss of life is nothing. And what it is a lot of these men ain't gonna understand what loss of life is until it hits them. Meaning like until it's someone close to them. Now someone like Little Durk might have been numb, but I'm talking about like the UK. Like when you're dealing with like the UK, you got to think of, have you ever been on the side of a parent who's lost a child? Have you ever sat down with a mother who has lost a son through gun violence and listened to her talk? Like way more than the child dies. Way more than the child dies when gun violence happens. But because it's glorified and things are backwards.
Totally.
So when you've got a man who's they're praising him, he's doing songs with Drake, he's getting bigged up by Jay-Z, he's being given the keys to the city by Chicago. These are people that are in the same country as him.
Come on.
I'm seeing the devastation that this person has caused, and I'm like, you lot are praising this guy.
They're celebrating it, they're promoting it, they're co-signing it, they want to be next to it, they want to get the shine off it like Drizzy's doing and does and continues to rape anyone who's got some kind of buzz will jump on the thing. There's no accountability, sibling.
None. And now, look, so now the whole world will be like, Durk got caught for this, Durk. Yo, this was coming from 10 years ago because the man thought he was untouchable. The man thought, look at the state of hip hop, look at the state of rap, to where you've got numerous guys in prison. Imagine you're making money in an industry, and I get it that there are a lot of people who push this upon our community, but it doesn't sell. All it does is it harnesses views online, because if you're driving your car and you see a car crash, what are you going to do? You're going to slow down and look, ain't you? And that's the same thing with all these drill videos. It was a car crash. People were watching a car crash because they're like, yo, he's talking about my man. And eventually you seen what happened. That was one of the worst things to ever happen to rap drill. One of the worst. Gangster rap was bad. It was very bad. But drill took it to a next level, almost where some of the videos were so dark. They should have had demons in it. That's how bad it was, Noble. Some of the videos was that dark. It wasn't music anymore.
It wasn't
music, and it was sad to see the youth moving that way. But while you've seen Chicago, they've told the line so much time. They've made videos in graveyards.
Yeah, that dude. Yep. And what happened to him?
Yeah, man. There's been guys who have done it who haven't even passed. Look at that girl the other day.
That wasn't the first one, sibling.
That wasn't the first one. Nah, there was the first guy who did it. He done it on Doc's grave. Went there and made a video, and he had on the Grim Reaper outfit. Yeah, man. And I was like, yo, what is this? It's almost like horror, like real life horror. You know what I mean? Like it was almost like
the Purge, boss.
That's what it was. And these videos were getting views. These men are at a grave site.
You hear that?
And it's allowed. It's allowed because what it was doing, it made it cool. All what we're seeing now is all a project. Everything we're witnessing, what we're living through, and what we've been living through for the past few years has been a project. And it's a project to desensitize us. More importantly, it's a project to desensitize the youth, because once they're desensitized to certain things, them things become normal. And Dirk and them people promoted death like it was normal. Death is normal, yes, but not the way they do it. People die every day, yes, but they push death almost as it was a business. That's how he got his fame. And when I see all these bloggers and all that talking about, oh, my guy Dirk's gone and all that, yeah, he is gone because you, man, help push that. Like, this is real life. Like, you can't expect a guy to push death, to push degenerate culture, to push gang activity, and believe that it doesn't end. Like, it comes to an end. Like, tell the people the truth. Like, now they're all seeing now it comes to an end.